Away we go.
Okay, so I'm Sue Moulton. I've been with the Pampered Chef 10 years, and today is February 26th, and we're going to be talking about out and about. How to get shows booked on your calendar outside of your family and friends circle. So we're going to touch base on two different things. One is how to be intentional and how to bring up your business everywhere you go. So there are a couple main things that you need to know, first of all, before you actually meet people outside of your home. The first thing you need to know is you need to dress for success. You should not leave your home in pajamas or sweatpants or anything that you wouldn't want to represent your business, because you lose opportunities to talk about your business when you're embarrassed about how you look. And I'm going to give you an example. If you are just dropping your kids off at school, which I did many, many years in my pajamas with a bathrobe over me, and you go through the drive up and you just drop your kids off, it's not a big deal. And if you're swinging by the post office and you're just dropping off a host packet at the post office, you can lose business there, because I have gotten so much business at the post office by being intentional. When I stand in line, I am wearing logo gear. I usually have my tote bag with me. People notice that, they comment on it, and I'll teach you on what to say when people do that. But I'm also very intentional at the post office when they say, do you have anything fragile or liquid, or they ask you all those questions, and I say they're just Pampered Chef catalogs. I'm sending out some host packets, because anybody in line that knows Pampered Chef comments on that every single time I'm in line. So it's an opportunity every time you go to the post office. So make sure that you're dressed in a manner that projects success. You don't want to be a frumpy Pampered Chef person, because they're probably not going to want to talk to you. People do business with you for three reasons. One, they either like you, so you need to engage them and be in some type of conversation where they can get to know you and like you. They will do business with you if they trust you, and they will do business with you if they were referred to you by somebody else, if a friend had a good experience. So these are the things that you need to keep in the back of your mind. They need to like you and trust you, and it's hard to build that rapport if you're not projecting energy, if you're not smiling. I mean, smiling is the simplest thing that you can do to create energy and create endorphins in your body. Literally, just sitting there and going, please. If you just smile before you get out of the car and go into a place of business, you're creating endorphins in your body, and you are energizing yourself, and you will project that when you walk into a place of business. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, is being intentional about your business. I want to encourage all of you newbies on this call. When I started attending Karen's team meeting and I wanted to earn my first trip to Spain, France, and Italy, Karen told me, you'll be a director in the process of this. When will you be a director? And I was like, I'm not sure. And she looked right at me and she said, 90 days. That's all it takes. You can be a director in 90 days. And sure enough, with intention, I was a director in 90 days. And so all of you on this call, I am sure, are more talented, more outgoing. You guys have more things going for you than I did at that time back a couple of years ago. Anybody can be a director in 90 days if you are just intentional. So here's some things that you want to do to be intentional about your business. Prepare for business. So if you don't have a tote bag, the type that you can stick the catalog in on the outside front, then carry catalogs with you, wear logo gear, make sure that people know that you are part of the Pampered Chef. You can get pins from your director that says, I love what I do, you can too. You can get pins that say Pampered Chef on them, something that is on your outer layer. So on your winter jacket or something like that, so that when you're standing in line, people can identify you with Pampered Chef. I think personally, the catalog is better, because they see the catalog and then they know that not only are you, just wearing a piece of logo gear, but like you have something that they can look at. So prepare by having in your catalog tote bag, have a bunch of little packets put together. Now, packets could just be mini catalogs. They could be a full-size catalog. Or if you are thinking about going to businesses, which I'm going to encourage you all to do this week, you can take a catalog and you can paperclip or staple a little coupon to the outside page of it. And there are a couple different options that I'll talk about as to what that coupon would be. But then what you're going to do is you are going to walk into your local businesses. And I'm going to challenge you to do the same thing that I'm going to do in the next 10 days. We're all going to do this together, because guess what? You can't teach it if you're not doing it too. So I think it's really important that we as leaders lead by example on our team. So I want you to walk into a local business. So I'm going to do, for me, it's not that I need more bookings, but I want more local bookings. I want bookings like 10 minutes down the road. So I'm going to be really intentional about picking where I go and what I want, because I want to not have to drive so far in the winter. So we're going to go into like the local hair salon, or maybe your bank, or places that don't have a lot of traffic. The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to be an irritation to the clerk behind the counter who is trying to get people checked out, and you're stalling the process by having a conversation with her. You can talk to a receptionist, you can talk to a hair salon person. So just think about the local businesses. Sometimes we have little quick check stores and things like that that you can go into that are not heavily trafficked. So it's not like a market basket, okay? And so you're just going to do a little introduction. You're going to walk in, you're going to have a smile on your face, and you're going to say something like this. Hi, I'm Sue Moulton. I'm a local Pampered Chef consultant, and I just wanted to come and introduce myself because I'm on a mission to increase my business locally. So that's going to be my script, because I want local business. I want to increase my business locally, and I was wondering if you knew of somebody who might be interested in gathering some friends for a fun entertainment evening, or maybe you know somebody that really likes a bargain, or really loves to entertain. I have a goal in the next 10 days to book 8 shows for the month of March. And I was wondering if anybody popped into your mind. Then you pull out your Pampered Chef catalog. They're going to see that. And what do people say when they see the Pampered Chef catalog?
Oh, I love Pampered Chef.
Yes, exactly, Cindy. Oh my God, I love Pampered Chef. So you're going to hand the catalog to them, and you're going to say, I really appreciate referrals, and my contact information is on the back of the catalog. If when I leave here today, they might say, oh, I'd love to host one. Of course, then you just go ahead and we would work on how to book that show with that person. So, and I'll tell you, we'll go into that in a second. But if they don't mention anybody, you are leaving the catalog with them, and you're going to say, when I leave here today, somebody's probably going to pop into your mind. And so I just want you to know that I have my contact information on the back of the catalog. If you leave it out here and somebody refers that they got the information from you, I will have a special gift for you, because I really appreciate referrals. And my goal this month is to really beef up. You might say that you're trying to ramp up your business, or you might say, for some people, you've moved to the new area. You can, if you're a new consultant, you can say, I just started my new Pampered Chef business, and I was challenged to book 8 shows in the next 6 days. So you can decide what fits for you. Make sure it feels comfortable for you, because what I want you to do is decide exactly what you're going to say, and I want you to practice it 10 times. Okay, so 8 to 10 times in the next 24 hours. So starting Thursday, I want you twice in the morning before you have your coffee, twice before you go to work, twice at lunch, twice at dinner. I want you to practice that script so that you've said it 8 times out loud, okay? Because when you first start saying it, it feels a little awkward. By the time you said it out loud 10 times, it'll probably flow very easily. So, so then you're going to leave the information with them. You're going to tell them that you're looking for referrals. So you're not directly asking them, would you like to book a show with Pampered Chef? So it's very non-threatening. Do you see what I'm saying? You can go into any place and say, like Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Hi, I'm Sue. Just wanted to introduce myself. I'm a local Pampered Chef consultant, and I'm really trying to ramp up my local business. I was wondering if you knew anybody who loves to entertain or would love to gather a few friends together. It is a free cooking class. You don't have to pay anything. I'm going to teach you a new recipe. We're going to try some new tools. And I'm, as I said, I'm trying to ramp up my business. My goal is I'm setting that I would like to have 8 new shows booked in the next week. Is there anybody that pops into your mind? And then you pull your catalog out. Then they respond, oh my God, I love Pampered Chef. And you can say, you get so much free and half price and discounted when you host a show with Pampered Chef. You're going to have fun. Your friends are going to have fun. If you or anyone you know is interested in hosting a show, I have a referral gift for you. So that's where the coupon that you can clip to the front of it can be. Now, if you're trying to book March, I would suggest you use what's called the $1 of the day coupon. That really helps you book the top part of your month. I'll post the $1 of the day coupon on the site when we're done here. But basically what it says is, if you book a show on the 3rd of March, you get a $30 item for $3. They pay the price of the day. If they book it on the 10th, they pay $10 for a $30 item. So what that does is that forces people to book early in March for you. The reason you want to do that now in the next couple days of February is because you only have to use that once or twice, because all you need is a couple extra bookings at the beginning of the month, because from those bookings, you can book end of March from those, okay? And the way you do that gift is you add the item. So let's say they pick a food chopper, and that's what, $30, right? Or $25. I can't even remember at this point. It's probably 32. Anyway. You add that item onto the hostess's order. If they do a live cooking show for you, on average, you're doing a $500 show, they're getting a 25% discount. So you're adding a $30 item, they're paying $10 of it, so $20 is going on their thing, and you're getting a 25% discount on that. So it's only costing you like $12 to get a booking on your calendar. So very important. So I recommend that you do something like that, or you could just do a coupon. I have what's called a booking coupon, and you could do $5 off your next order, whatever you want. People like a discount, they like coupons, they like a deal. So stapling something to the front of the catalog might help them to engage a little bit more than just saying, if you think of somebody. The second part of being intentional is talking about your business everywhere you go. And what I mean by that is when you are doing out and about in your everyday life, you want to be really intentional about how you go about talking. So here's an example. Sorry, I got to shut my door. My dog just came in. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. So sorry. So I went into the bookstore in Concord Borders. Everywhere I go, we got these little hand purses from Pampered Chef, from Sizzle, that you can put mini catalogs in. So I make sure that I lay that purse on the counter every time I check out anywhere. It is always facing out if I'm standing in the grocery line. I am very intentional about viewing my Pampered Chef logo gear and my Pampered Chef mini catalogs. So I put it on the counter, and the girl was cashing out, and she saw it, she looked at it, and she said, "Oh, Pampered Chef, I love the Pampered Chef." And so I always answer that with, "When was the last time you hosted a show? We have so many new products in our new catalog." And she said, "Oh gosh, it's been forever. My mom used to host Pampered Chef shows, but she loves Pampered Chef too." And I said, "Well, here." And I pull a mini catalog out. Now, some of you guys might have the little sticky notes that are have contact information on them, name, address, and all of that. We had some custom sticky notes made up. If you don't have those, a regular plain sticky note on every mini catalog on the back side, you ask them for their information. Because here is rule number one. It is not a lead unless you get their contact information. If you give them information with your contacts on it, that doesn't count. Let me tell you why. They never call you back. Never. And this example is a perfect example of this. So this girl said, "Oh my gosh, I love Pampered Chef." I said, "Great. If you wouldn't mind filling out your name and your email and your phone number, I would love to send you the upcoming specials. And when you see something you like, you just give me a holler." That sounds very non-threatening. Now, I know in the back of my mind, I'm going to follow up with her within 24 hours. But what I'm saying to her is very non-threatening. I have not had anybody not give me their name and email when I use that line. "Here, if you give me your email, I'll send you the upcoming specials. When you see something you like, you just give me a shout." How does that sound? They say, "Great." They give you their email. You take it back. I said, "It was very nice meeting you, Chloe." I left. I was really busy that next day. I forgot to follow up within 24 hours. But I did follow up at the 48-hour mark. And I sent her an email. "It was so nice meeting you at BAM, blah, 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 blah." Within like 7 seconds, she replied, "Oh my God, I've been waiting to hear from you. I'm so excited. I talked to my friends. We're going to book a show." So she had my contact information. She had my name, my phone number, everything. She was waiting for me to call. That is your cue, newbies. People will not call you and they want to hear from you. They do. You're not bothering them. I know that that's in our mindset, that we're bothering people. So I called her up. I booked a show, just an FYI. It was a $1,000 show, 2 recruit leads and 2 bookings, okay, from a complete stranger. That can happen to you tomorrow. Now, does it happen every time I collect information? No. Do you have to get like 10 or 20 out and abouts before you get a $1,000 show? Yes, you do. So we're all supposed to be doing 3 contacts a day, 2 shows a week, and 1 recruit a month, right? So 3 contacts a day can simply be collecting 3 door prizes a day. Now, if you are doing that, let's say you don't actually leave your house one day. Well, guess what? That means you need to get 6 the next day, okay? Or if you get 10 because you're at the basketball game and you have a bunch of mini catalogs and you're passing it out to all the moms and dads that are there saying, oh my gosh, I'm in this contest. I need to collect 10 contacts today. Do you mind passing out your, whatever it takes for you to get in the habit of engaging about your business. So 2 things I want you to script out. 1, I want you to script out what you're going to say when you're going to go into a business place. How are you going to introduce yourself? It needs to be a comfortable thing to you, okay? For me, I really like the scripting. Hey, hi, I'm Sue, and I just wanted to introduce myself. I live locally here in Boscawen, and I'm looking for local business. I've been doing Pampered Chef for 10 years, and I'm wondering if you know of anybody who would be interested in entertaining, having a party, and gathering some friends together. That sounds really very me. That's very Sue. I'll just go chat with the neighbor on the corner. So I want you to script that out, and then I want you to script out how to respond when somebody says, oh, I love the Pampered Chef. I think my first 7 years, I used to say, oh, that's great. I love their products too. Well, that doesn't lead to what you're going for. You need to be intentional in knowing what you're looking for. Are you looking for bookings? Are you looking for recruits? Are you looking for sales? What is it that you want? And make sure that you have a reply for that situation. So I'm going to say it one more time just so you have it, but I know it's being recorded. So, oh, I love the Pampered Chef. Oh, when was the last time you hosted a show? We have so many new products in our catalog. I would love to send you the new flyer of the host specials. When you see something you like, just give me a shout. And then within 48 hours, you're going to follow up with them. Ask them if they've seen them, if they like them, that kind of thing. Now, there are 3 main things that you need to do with contacts. You need to capture a contact, you need to file a contact, and you need to take an action to a contact. So capturing a contact means that you actually got their information. I can't stress enough, especially if you're doing out and abouts, as soon as you get back in the car, write yourself some notes. I don't know if it's because I've had kids or I'm too old, but I just cannot remember anybody or anything. So it's really important to make things as personal as you can. Whether you say really cool, short haircut, she had a young daughter with her, getting married in July, whatever it is that you remember about that person, because there's nothing more important than reiterating those facts when you get on the phone. A perfect example. In P3, I used to write every little note I could. One of the ladies was getting her doctorate degree. Didn't want to book a show, but I said that I would follow up. I followed up once. She was still really, really busy. I probably didn't follow up for 6 months, but when I called her, I was like, hey, Cindy, it's Sue with the Pampered Chef. How are you? I'm good. How are you, Sue? Good. So did you finish your doctorate degree or are you still in classes? For me to remember that, she was like, oh, la, 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 la. You're connecting. Remember, I talked about people will do business with you if they like you and if they trust you or if they were referred by a friend. So to make yourself more likable, try to write down their children's names or something about them that you remember, something about their house or something about their pets. People love their kids and their pets. We all do. So it's important to really document this stuff and use this in a conversation. That is going to one-up you over the other person that's trying to get them to book a bag party or a candle party or something else because they like you more. Okay. You don't have to be, I tell my team all the time, you don't have to be outgoing. You don't have to be bubbly to be a success in this business. You have to be genuine, whatever is your personality. Now you do have to have some energy. So even if you're kind of a laid back person, you need to up your energy a little bit, but you can still be you and be super successful in this business. And you'll know that when you start going to leadership conferences and Sizzle and places like that, where you see upper level people, that some are outgoing and some are quiet and shy and some are short and stout and some are tall and thin. And like, we all come in all shapes and sizes. What we have in common is we don't quit and we don't give up. Like, we just stick to it. So Karen said that she, sometimes we get higher cancellation rates than other times. That's sales. We are not going to give up. That's why we need business outside of our family and friend circle. So another way of getting business outside your family and friend circle is asking for referrals. So we're asking for referrals when we're going into business places, but you need to be asking for referrals at your shows too. When you're doing full service checkout, you need to be asking all of your friends. If they're not interested in the business and they're not interested in a booking, and you ask them if they know anybody who's doing a fundraiser or connected to any organization, you've exhausted all of those checkout questions. You should be saying, who do you know? Not do you know, because that answer is no. You always start with, who do you know? Who do you know that might be interested in having a party and getting their friends together? Who do you know that loves a bargain and would really like to get a discount? So asking for referrals is part of the out and about, because sometimes when you're standing in the grocery line or you're standing in the post office line and you're talking to somebody, that's the key term you're going to say. Who do you know that might be interested in getting some cookware on discount, because April has got this amazing special. I'm always looking to help out some friends. Do you have a friend that could use some really good cookware? All right, so that's capturing the information. Filing the information. You need to keep track of all of these. I swear, my first 7 years of business, I did not track anything. I didn't have any system of keeping hold of these, and I lost so many recruits and bookings that I can't even tell you. So you need to determine what works for you. If you are a digital person, then you write yourself a note in your calendar right away on your phone as a reminder. If you're the type of person that uses your computer a lot, then you write yourself a note in your computer. I find it easy if it pops up either on your computer or on your phone as a reminder. And if you can't do it, you just change the date and you just keep moving it over until you actually do address them. I'm a paper person. I don't know why. I keep trying to go digital, but I'm a paper person. So I've reverted back to a paper system because it's less stress for me and I understand it. So mine's so lazy. You guys are going to laugh about it, but this is how I do it. If I have a lead that's an out and about lead, I will take their little sticky note and I will tape it to an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, because guess what? Sticky notes get lost, people. Staple it to an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You're going to have sticky notes everywhere, okay? And then you're going to write some notes. Another perfect example. Go to a different Dunkin' Donuts than you've been going to. So recently I made a conscientious effort to go to a different Dunkin' Donuts. So I drive through the Dunkin' Donuts in Chichester and I pull up and they see my logos on my car and the girl goes, "Oh, Pampered Chef, what's that?" I said, "Oh my God, you've never heard of Pampered Chef?" And I pull out a mini catalog and I hand it to the girl and I say, "We do live cooking shows. They're free to you. You invite all your friends over. We cook a meal together. We get to try all the products and you guys get to buy the stuff from the catalog. It is so much fun. We should do a show." The boy behind her goes, "Can I get one of those too?" I said, "Sure." The manager swings his head around and says, "Do you have a third one?" I gave out 3. I gave them 3 sticky notes and said, "Do you mind quickly jotting down your name and your email so that I can email you the specials? There's some great specials coming up. I don't want you to miss them." And so they said yes. And I said, "You know what? It is so great to meet people like you that give such good customer care. I'm always looking for great people on my team. I know you're busy because you got people in line. I will email you tomorrow. I'm on my way to a show right now." I emailed them. One guy, the email didn't come back, but I had his phone. I texted him. I said, "Hey, Joshua, I tried this email. I can bounce back." And he was like, "Oh, you forgot the R. Here it is." Like, totally responded within 30 seconds. These 20-year-olds, they're all on text. And so I said, "I hope you got the email." He said, "Yeah, I got it." I said, "Well, ask around your friends. Let me know when you want to book a show, blah, 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 blah." So just going to a different Dunkin' Donuts, I got 3 leads. Even though they work together, they have different friend groups. So I potentially have 3 more shows on the calendar. Right? And if you're looking for 3 contacts a day, I got 3 at one location. Every Dunkin' Donuts I always get. So go to different Dunkins. So here's how I file my leads. So I take those sticky notes, I put it onto an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, then I write as many notes as I can remember, because guess what? I'm not going to remember Joshua later. So I write Joshua, Dunkin' Donuts, and Chichester, 2 other people took information, like as much as I can remember, because if he books a show, I'm going to say, well, what about Sally and Johnny? Did you invite them to your show? You know what I mean? Because all 3 of them may not book, but I want all of them at the show because I want to book them from those shows. If you're getting leads from shows, I'm super lazy. You know, the yellow copy of your order slip. When you come home, if they booked a show, I write the booking date right across the center of the order form, and that becomes my 8.5 by 11 sheet, because guess what? I now don't need to write their name, their address, their email, their phone number. Everything is on that yellow sheet of paper, and I take that yellow sheet of paper and I put it in a folder. Now, I have folders that say spring, summer, fall, winter, and then I have some that are like current month follow-up, like follow up with these quickly. So kind of like hot leads, warm leads, and cold leads. And so you always follow up within 24 hours. So those are in my hot leads folder. And then once I talk to them, like I've emailed them, so that's within 48 hours, 2 days. Now, if I don't hear from them, they go into my next folder, which is a warm lead folder, and I'll follow up with them within 2 weeks. So I'll call them or I'll email them, see if they're interested. And if I don't hear back from them, I'll put them into a folder for a 3-month rotation. Okay? So the best time to be booking shows is when you're busy. Do you know why? Because you're excited and you're busy and you only have a couple days left on your calendar and your energy is going, and that's when you want to be booking more shows. You don't want to wait until all of your shows and you're getting slow, and then you're getting slow, and now please will you book a show with me? You sound desperate. You don't want to be desperate. You want to be energized. So you want to be on a regular call basis with these people. And my rule of thumb is you call them until they tell you to stop calling them. That's the rule, you know? And here's why I say that. You might think, oh, we're bugging these people. We've called them 4 times in a year. I've had people, and this is God's honest truth, when I finally got in touch with them, say, oh, I'm so glad you didn't give up on me. You know, my mother-in-law died and blah, 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 blah happened. And this has just been a crazy, crazy busy season, but I really am interested. Let's do something in the summer. I'm interested in one of those barbecue shows that you're doing. So when you hear that for the first time, you're going to believe me when I say, don't worry about it. You're not bugging them. If they don't want to hear from you, they will tell you. I'm all set. And I've had one lady that she's like, I really appreciate you calling, but to be honest, Sue, I really am not going to book a show with you. I don't know why I said I was going to. Like, she told me, she was honest. I appreciate that. You're going to get my newsletter once a month. If you need me, if you need products, if you need a warranty information, you'll know how to reach me, you know, and then I just write on the thing, seriously not interested or whatever. So don't take things personally. That's my other advice when you're out and about. You're no further behind if they say no. You only can go uphill by going out and doing out and abouts. Because if you need 3 bookings and you don't have them on your calendar now, and they say no, 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 and you get 10 no's in a row, guess what? You still only need 3 bookings. Your next person could be your yes. So capture the information. So get their name and their address. That's a lead. Figure out a filing system. How are you going to keep them? Recruit leads should be separate than booking leads, okay? And recruit leads, after you've contacted them a couple times, if you don't hear back from them, then you put them on the rotation when, you know, when we get the new flyer, like join now and you can get a $229 family size skillet for free. What you want to do is send them that information and say, hey, you know, I'm sorry that we couldn't touch base, but I didn't want you to miss out on this special. So you want to follow up with those. And the last thing is action. The fortune is in the follow-up. You're going to hear this again and again and again from everybody on any stage, that you can collect all the information, all the door price slips from vendor events and from out and abouts and all of that. But if you do not pick up the phone, just like Chloe, she was waiting to hear from me. Those were her words. And yet she had my information. If you do not follow up, you will not book your shows. It is our job. We are the consultants. This is our business. So we need to own it like a business. I think the biggest mistake for us is we only paid $159 for our business. If you invested $10,000 to get your business up and running, you'd be running this business like a business. But because it cost you the cost of a really nice pair of leather boots, you know, you're thinking, if it doesn't work, it's no big deal. Don't think so small. this vehicle of direct sales has you the potential to earn a six-figure income, regardless of your education, regardless of your ability. If you are willing to work and you are willing to learn, you can make serious money in this business. So disregard the cost of the kit and look at this like you own your own business. Carve aside time that you are working. If you are working a regular job, if you have children, if you have other responsibilities, you need to set aside time that is do or die. When I was earning my first trip and promoting to director, I'm a rules person, so I had to set rules for myself. So I wasn't allowed to sit down on the couch with my family and watch TV when I got home from a show until I had done my follow-up emails. So like that was the rule. So guess what? There were a lot of nights that I was sitting at my computer and my husband's like, "Are you coming in?" And I'm like, "No, not until my work's done." Because guess what? When you're at your real job, if you have a deadline and you have to get something submitted, you don't go on break or you don't go to the mall because the cute shoes are on sale. You get your stuff done first. So treat this business like a business for 90 days. That's all we're asking you to commit to. This is a 90-day program. And if you would just commit for 90 days straight to what we're all teaching you, we will prove it again and again, the stuff that we say. And the best thing is when you start doing it, you're going to hear Karen say something, you're going to hear Sue say something, you're going to hear David say something, but then when you actually get into that situation, you're going to hear us in your head going, "Oh yeah, darn it, I forgot to get her contact information. Sue's right." So you're going to make some mistakes. So what? Don't worry. It's all about making the mistakes. Just don't make the same ones twice. So if you forget to get the information, next time get the information or go back. I've gone back one time and said, "Oh my God, I'm a breeze brain. I am so sorry. I don't know how I'm going to email you. I didn't get your email information. I really want to make sure I get you your stuff." Now, some places are like, "Oh, well, I don't have an email." You know, that's a crock. That means they don't want to give it to you. Other places have said, "It's our policy. We're not allowed to take, your information." Like at Market Basket, I've given some tellers, some cashiers, mini catalogs, and other ones are like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's against our policy. We can't take that from you." That's fine. Don't take it personal, okay? Don't take it personal. We're not looking for everybody, but I can encourage you. You can never say the wrong thing to the right person. And you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So we're just wading through all the muck to find those right people. You only need 5. We needed 6 before the requirements were harder and harder. You guys only need 5 right people to join your team to be director. And then you're just going to keep repeating yourself. You're going to promote again, and you're going to promote another 5, and then you're going to promote another 5. So we're just wading through. That's all you're looking for. And also keep in mind, we want all of them. So some are coming, some are going, and some are staying. Do not prejudge the people that you're meeting, whether they're for bookings. Sometimes it's a catalog show booking that you're going to get. Sometimes it's a recruit lead you're going to get, but they only want to do it until their furnace is paid for, and then they're going to quit. That's okay. So with bookings, keep that in mind that you need all of them. So somebody might want to just do a catalog show. If you can't get a live show, a catalog show is better than nothing. I've had $800 catalog shows out of New York one time last summer from a referral from a lady who liked me. I told her sister, "You have to use my consultant in New Hampshire." So again, it's available. It's out there. You need to be intentional about what you're going to do. So I have a challenge for you guys. I want you guys to add 6 shows to your calendar. So if you're not already up to 8 for March, you can add some for March, but then you can go ahead and start filling April. So 6 new shows in 10 days. I'm giving you 10 days. You could probably do it. I mean, you might be able to do it faster than that, but I'm giving you a little over a week so that you're hitting like 2 weekends. Okay. I want you to see if you guys can find places to go. And I know Karen does do and tells. I do and tells. I want to hear about them. I went into the bank. Everybody was like, "No way." Or I went into the bank and they were like, "Oh my God, that's great." I recruited a girl from my bank. You all should be talking to your bankers. They see you making deposits all the time. You need to be not just talking about your business, but it's like informing and inviting. You need to be asking them to host shows for you. So 6 shows, 10 days, that's your homework. Do and tells, Tell your director where you've been, what you've done, and what kind of successes you have. And if you have a team Facebook page, I highly encourage you to share your successes on there. Direct sales is this roller coaster, up and down, right? So when you're on an up and you're having great success and you've booked some shows, I had a girl that got 6 recruit leads, 20 bookings, and 6 fundraiser leads from a bridal show last weekend. That's a big up, okay? Post that on the page, because somebody else might have just had 2 cancellations in a row and are thinking, oh my God, this business doesn't work. This sucks. I don't know what to do. Well, you know what? We all go through those times. So we need to be encouraged. Well, guess what? Sally Sue, who lives one town over for you, is having great success. So the business does work. We just have to work the business and be intentional about it. So know in your mind what you're looking for. I'm looking for 2 more bookings, but 6 total. Script out what you're going to say. Practice it. If you need to say it to somebody, call your director, practice online, talk to your dog, doesn't matter. And then go and take action. Without action, all this information is falling to the wayside. And my last little blurb, and then I'll sign off, is for those of you who don't know me personally, when I decided to build my Pampered Chef business, I was so scared to get on the phone that I kept saying to myself, all right, I got to put on my big girl panties. I got to just put on my big girl panties and just suck it up and do it. And so I took my address book. If you guys have an address book, you know, cousins that you see at weddings and funerals, people that you don't see very often, college friends, people that you might send Christmas cards to, but that's all you see them. I literally went page by page by page, A to Z. And I called every single person in that book at one, like in 2 days, like in one short sitting, because the more you get going, you just do it. Just get it done. Just get it done. And I booked so many shows that I did $20,000 in 1 month in business. Okay. So if you are intentional about going out to outdoor places, if you're intentional about getting on the phone, if your friends say no, ask them for a referral. Ask for your friends. If your friend's like, yeah, my sister, I think she might be interested. Let me give her your number. No, would it be okay if you gave me your friend's number? I'll call her and tell her, you know, you can call her and let her know I'm calling, but get that information. Take charge of your own business. Get the number in your own hand so that you can make those calls. So that's my encouragement to you. For a very short period of time, you're going to be uncomfortable, but you will be coming back to us going, oh my God, I say to Karen all the time, thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, I've been on 3 amazing trips because I did what Karen told me to do. Okay. So it is totally the truth. If you would just do what the leaders who have done it before, it works. So follow what we're saying, and we will see you at Sizzle Walking Stage as a director this summer. I can't wait. Woo-hoo!
Before we open the floor up to questions, I want to remind you all we have the Fast Trackers Facebook page, and we'd love to hear every time you get a lead, every time you make a connection, every time you take an out and about a little bit further than you did before. Post it on there. You know, we don't just want to hear once you get the booking in there. We want to hear the places you've gone, what you're hearing, and all that, so we can cheer each other on for sure.
Yes.
So did you guys, was that awesome or what? Thank you to Sue.
Yeah. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions, comments for Sue?
I have a question. Does anyone belong to a business networking group?
No.
LinkedIn.
There was one that I went to, Marcy, local in Concord. You could visit a couple times for free. I got invited by somebody who is part of the BNI group. It's very expensive to be a participant in BNI, but there are other ones that are free. So look for the free ones. Great way to network, great way to get your name out there and get into new groups of people. The BNI was very, I mean, like $500, and you had monthly commitments and all of that. I didn't think that that was worth it for what we do, because word of mouth really is where we get our bookings. But any type of situation that puts you in a group of people, I recommend that you call your local Chamber of Commerce, your local like I called the Christian Women's Club, and I offered to be a speaker for them. So you offer to actually go in and do a little presentation for them. I had this little 70-year-old lady order 10 manual food processors from me. 10. That was $500 from one, like she was like 68 years old. She was buying Christmas gifts for all of her friends. They're all getting the same thing, all of her granddaughters and daughter-in-laws and all of that. So like offer to your services as a speaker to somebody.
It's a great question.
That is a good question.
Anybody else?
Anybody else?
I know that a lot of people have attempted to do out and abouts, and when you find yourself at an impasse, is there something that you're hearing that you just can't get beyond, and you'd love Sue's magic words on that?
No, I disagree with the practice. I know if I practice what I'm going to say before I go enough times, that, and then when I start to say it, every time I say it, it gets a little bit easier.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly. And to be honest, Carol, when I started attending Karen's team meetings, Karen speaks a lot like I do, and she's very funny. She's way funnier than I am. So I literally just stole Karen, and I told her, I said, I'm going to be you until I have my own story to tell. And so I would just use her stories. It was funny and it worked. So it really doesn't matter, you know, whose scripting you're using. Just find something that feels comfortable. And so like when I was looking through what to share with you guys, going in and trying to get a booking from a stranger, I don't like to make people feel uncomfortable, and I don't like to feel uncomfortable, but to go in and introduce myself, hey, my name is Sue, and I just wanted to introduce myself because I'm a local businesswoman, and I'm looking for more business locally, and I just wanted to get my name out there. You know, like if you were a hairdresser or a salon and somebody said that, and would it be okay if I left a catalog with you? And if you can think of anybody that might be interested, would you please be, you know, feel free to refer me? Like that is so non-threatening. And when I made my phone calls, it's funny, Pampered Chef did edit me in my catalog when I wrote my story up, because my honest script when I was calling everybody from A to Z in my phone book was, hey, Carol, this is Sue. I don't know if you remember me, but I do Pampered Chef, or hey, Auntie so-and-so, I don't know if you remember, but I do Pampered Chef, and I'm trying to relaunch my business. I've been doing Pampered Chef for 7 years part-time. I said, look, I'm trying to relaunch my business. Tell them your goal. I'm trying to earn a trip for Chris and I to Spain, France, and Italy. It's our 20th anniversary, and I'm calling for a favor. That I'm calling for a favor got scripted right out by Pampered Chef. But you know what that did to everybody I called? Then my next words out of my mouth was, feel free to say no if you can't help me. Pampered Chef didn't want that in there. But you know why I put it in there? Because I wanted them to be off guard. You know, they can say no. And so then I told them what I wanted. I'm wondering if you'll host a show in February. They're doing double bonus points this month, and I really want to do $20,000 in sales this month. Would you be willing to host a show? One girl said no. I said, well, what about a catalog show? Would you be willing to pass catalog around work or your neighbors? And she's like, I'm just really cataloged out. I just don't know if I can do that. I didn't take no for an answer. I then said, well, what about, are you still the cheerleading coach for the local cheerleaders? And she said, yes. I said, well, what about a fundraiser? She said, oh, that'd be a great idea. And not only did she do a fundraiser, the whole district did a fundraiser, because I didn't take no on a catalog show for a cooking show, and I didn't take no for a catalog show. I continued down my scripted thing. And if she had said no to a fundraiser, I would have said, who do you know? There are 4 questions we ask, and we go through all of them with everybody. So don't take it personally. Keep asking. I mean, that one fundraiser ended up getting me other bookings. So yep, scripted out. Anybody else? Anybody else have any problems when you're out and about trying to bring up your business?
Sue.
Yes.
I go to the same post office all the time, in teeny tiny town. And every third time, the woman there is always like, oh, Pampered Chef, I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. And nothing ever comes of it. But she's always so friendly to me. What do? I've got post baskets to mail on Saturday.
Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to bring a coupon of the day, and you're going to say, hey, Sandy, I know that you and I have not been able to connect recently, but I have a special offer that's just for you. I'm really trying to build my local business up, and I've been challenged to book 6 shows in the next 10 days. This is a coupon specifically for you to get a special product for the price of the day. If you book your show on the 7th of March for $7, I'm going to give you a $30 product in addition to all the amazing host specials that Pampered Chef is going to give you. But it's a special bonus because you're my postmaster and I really like you. Ooh. So you're giving them that like, snag it now. This is only for you. It's only good now. It's that sense of urgency that's with that. and you know, you're giving it to her. And then if she calls you at the end of the month and wants to know if it's good for April, it's up to you. If your April's not full, then all right, you offer it, but I wouldn't. I would say, oh, I'm so sorry, that was for the month of March, but there's still lots of, you know, if they're calling you by then, you got them hooked. And you can book them anyway. But yeah, so I would, you know, this is only good. I literally have only had to use the $1 of the day coupon twice in my entire business in the last 3 years to jumpstart, because I had some things at the beginning of the month that I really just wanted to fill, because I knew if I could get 1 or 2 shows at the beginning of the month, I could book shows from that to fill out my calendar. Because it's easier to book shows from shows. So you just got to get up and running for one solid month. You got to get one really busy month going, and that will perpetuate your calendar again and again. You know, our big chant is you're not through until you book 2. So if you leave your show and you only have 1 booking, then within 24 hours or 48 hours, you're going to make customer care calls to everybody that was at the show. Hey, Carol, thanks so much for coming to Cindy's show. I just wanted to thank you so much for your order. I wanted to let you know that we're going to close her show out in a day or so. So if there were any last minute things when you got home and you thought, oh my God, I should have just added it to it. Or if your husband or somebody from work decides that they, when you go to work tomorrow, if you tell them that you're at a Pampered Chef show and anybody decides that they want to add to the order, we can go ahead and do that for you. I want to let you know your products will be in 7 to 10 days from, you know, Thursday when we close. And again, I just want to thank you so much for being there. Is there anything I can help you with? You know? So follow-up calls, because then they're going to be like, you know, you're going to ask them, so you know, I know that you said that you really weren't interested in hosting a show at the time, but a lot of us get home and you go, man, that was fun. I want to do that with my friends. And did you ever have that thought when you got home, Cindy? Oh yeah, I guess I did. Well, why don't you ask your friends? I would love to pamper you like I pampered Carol. So.
That's good.
Anybody else got any examples of out and about that didn't go so well? They happen.
And I just want to say, if you're listening to Sue and thinking, oh, this stuff just rolls off her tongue. When I met her, it didn't.
Oh, no.
It rolled off this girl's tongue. It's not, but you know what? All of this, none of this just rolled off any of our tongues, because none of us really grew up probably thinking, I want to grow up and be a Pampered Chef lady, or I want to grow up and be in direct sales. So all of this was pretty foreign to all of us when we were new. So you just commit to trying it and just saying it over and over. And before you know it, like when someone asks you a question, the stuff is just rolling off your tongue. We call it show mode. You're in show mode, and you're just kind of going with it. And if you commit to practicing, it is amazing how quickly, in just a couple months' time, all of a sudden these things are rolling off your tongue like the alphabet as well.
It is crazy. When we were down at Feast, Karen and I heard a speaker, and one of the things that she said was, gosh, if you're lucky enough to grab one of my, from stage, it was Grace Botts, if you're lucky enough to grab one of my last 3 dates, and I was
or one of my last
that whole night I kept saying to Karen, if you're lucky enough to grab one of my 3 dates, because I had to keep saying it or it won't get into my vocabulary. So look for opportunities, even if you're just joking around with your family, to use those words again and again. I keep telling my team, it's like muscle memory and learning a dance. When you first learn to dance, you're like, and then the more you do it, you get flowier. And then the more you do it, you actually look like you know what you're doing. The same thing with your mouth. The first time I said, all right, we're going to make customer care calls. I'm going to show you how it's done. I was so nervous having them watch me. I had to turn my back to them, and I was like, hi, this is Sue, and I was a disaster. And you know what? The best part about that was they looked at me and they went, oh crap, I could do better than that. And it's true. They can. Like, there's no special thing. The more you do it, the better you get, the better you get, the better results you have. It's just like your regular job. Y'all had to learn your job from scratch. Weren't you nervous when you started your first job? You were like, oh, there's so much to learn. I can't get it all down. And now you're just like, yeah, I can do that in my sleep and answer the phone and write a report at the same time. It's true. You know, it's all part, it's a learning curve. You have 90 days, girls. Just do it right, do it wrong, just do it. You'll get better as you get going.
Okay, last chance on questions. All right, well, everybody have a great week.
Yes.
Be posting stuff on Facebook and get out there. Think about where you're going tomorrow. If you are leaving the house, you're going to be seeing people. So think about where you're going. And Emily wrote, thank you all.
Thanks, Em. Congratulations, Emily got our first recruit. We signed her yesterday.
Awesome.
And she's got a fundraiser. I talked to Patty today. She's got a fundraiser lined up already for relay race, Help Whip Cancer. So yeah, we're working on that already. So woo! And we're talking to her about recruiting as well. So come on, Em. Go director.
Okay. All right. Well, have a great night, everybody.
Great.
You
Thank
too.
you. All right. Bye.